him with your truck. Ask me.
Bro, he's too quick with it.
Don't spin and swing.
Oh, 3 more damage. Can you move out of the way, sir?
Back up and...
Oh, I ran out of fuel. Now he got his dang shoes all wet. You let me out.
The crow, the nose.
Bro, I can't...
Bro, take the ghost out of the car. Oh, nice one, Ron. You caught me on fire.
That's the best way to win. That was so fun.
Yes, sir.
We didn't get anything done that game. Just random people. I missed that shot. They're standing still, bro. They're so bad.
Come on, hop on the F-150.
1 second. I need to heal up. Alright. Wow, you really finna make me drive more? Alright.
Nope.
Oh, it's
He's drowning in the pool. There you go, he's just a lifeguard. Oh, poor guy. Oh. Bro, honestly, I would say that was an LOL moment.
That was pretty LOL. We need a new truck already, because that one almost...
I cracked one. He has 0 max, probably.
Ya lo tengo, es otro vato.
No.
¿Lo mató?
I don't think their teammate was left. Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
6.000
Isaac.
6 kills.
GG's.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode by BW2 to once again the end of season results video. So you guys probably know these are always like the longest videos on the channel, but I always try doing something new each season to try making them just that much shorter. But this time we're definitely trying something new. Basically I'm gonna just go through my cosmetics, show them, and read like the description and the set and stuff. I'm not even really going to talk about them because then it just ends up going on for way too long. Even though I usually like to, but it's just going to go on for way too long if we just keep on doing that like usual. So yeah, so basically if I have these cosmetics, obviously I liked them enough to buy them, but there are of course things that I like and don't like about them and whatnot, but yeah, if you really care enough to know, then just ask in the comments and I'll explain or whatnot. So yeah, but also if you want to see any like cool features or whatever, of course you can watch YouTubers like Pizzo or whatever who show off the cosmetics. I'm just showing what I got throughout the season as usual. So yeah, so first off, career account level. I'm now I've reached account level 1542. And yeah, but again, also I would be talking a lot this season because you guys know I'm a mega fan of Marvel, and this whole season was, yes, Marvel themed. So yeah, I mean, it's just really awesome. So I don't want to get too into that because I could go on and on about that. But also, you guys know that I have work, so usually I try filming these videos like a day or two before the season ends. But the event happens on 2 days and 15 hours, as you can see, which is also the same day that the season ends. Which is weird because it ends on a Tuesday. Usually it's like Thursday, or usually it ends on like a Wednesday and starts on a Thursday or whatever. But yeah, but I have like work and whatnot, of course, and so, yeah, so I just figured it would be best to just film it right now and get it out of the way. But also today, the time I'm recording this is Saturday, so not too far off. But yeah, but I will be doing the event. I will be doing a video on that, and I'm gonna go off schedule to post it. I'm just gonna post it on Tuesday right after I get it edited and everything, so I can get it out as soon as possible. But yeah. So basically we're just going to log into the game an hour before, and then we're literally just going to sit in the playlist tab just waiting for the event to get in, so we can just get in no matter what. Like, if we don't get in, then there is no reason why we did not get in, because that's the quickest you can possibly do it, pretty much. So yeah, so anyway, getting right into it is, of course, as always, we start off with the Battle Pass skins. Always start off with my main man, though. So yeah, so first off, we have, first off, this is my overall skin collection. Not going to go slow or anything, really, but yeah, quite the collection going on here now. Haven't counted them in a little bit. It's 200 something, I know that. But yeah, so first off, we got Thor. And again, they said that they're basing everything in this like season based off of the comics, not like the MCU or anything. But some stuff is very heavily resembling stuff in the MCU. Yeah, so let me search it up so we can see his description here. Alright, so yeah, so it says Son of Odin, God of Thunder. As you can see, he's got his pose with a hammer in this cool galaxy look. And yeah, and then I did get all the styles for him. We got silver foil, gold foil, and hollow foil. And surprisingly, again, since I have work and whatnot, I don't usually try to complete all the challenges anymore and unlock all the styles, since 99% of the time I just like the base default styles for the Battle Pass skins anyway. But somehow I actually, just yesterday, I ended up unlocking the max hollow foil style, which is also the last one, is at level 220, which, as you can see, I did. So yeah, so I somehow ended up getting them all anyway, but I didn't get like all the challenges done, as you will see with the Wolverine stuff. These are like the only things I didn't get, is like these 3 styles. Yeah, so that is Thor. And then of course the Battle Pass, you might be saying like, well, you said you like skins enough. If you bought them, you obviously liked them enough to buy them or whatever. But what about Battle Pass ones? But Battle Pass ones, I can tell you I like everything in this Battle Pass. The only thing that does kind of suck about it is it's very cool, but everything is kind of locked to its set. There's pretty much only one glider in this Battle Pass, because the rest of them you have to use with, or there's 2, because Groot's in the MCG, but the rest of them you have to use with their respective skin, as well as a lot of the pickaxes and whatnot. So it's very isolating. A very isolating Battle Pass, but overall it's really cool. Yeah, obviously a lot of times there are a couple skins throughout the Battle Passes that I really do not like, but yeah, I can say this one I do like. So next up is Jennifer Walters, which is of course She-Hulk. It says brains or brawn, why not both? And you got default Crimson Jennifer Walters, silver foil, gold foil, and hollow foil, which I forgot, pretty much all these guys do have built-in emotes, because that's the other thing, is there's not really any emotes in this season's Battle Pass, because they're pretty much all just built-in emotes. But yeah, so if you go with Thor, of course you can go and do his emote. And you turn into an absolute lightning god, which of course I'm not going to show it on every single style, but you'll look like slightly different with each style that you use. And then same with Jennifer Walters here. If you use her emote, you can turn into She-Hulk. And then of course they also have separate animations for changing back and whatnot, which is pretty cool. And I will show this one just a little different, because of course these ones just have like a different colored jumpsuit or whatever, but this one is actually red She-Hulk, which is pretty cool that they incorporated that. It's almost like 2 skins in one. But yeah, so that is Jennifer Walters there. But then you got Groot right here with his silver foil, gold foil, and hollow foil. And then his built-in emote right here is he actually summons Rocket, which is very cool because he actually does count as a pet and you can unlock him separately, so it's like an emote in itself. But he's like a really cool pet. He doesn't just sit on your back. He actually like flies around. When you crouch, he'll like go lower so you can still see and whatnot. And yeah, just really cool, and especially how that actually comes as a separate backbling, so you can use Rocket on any skin that you want. Just really, really cool. Really like that. But yeah, and of course it says he is Groot. And then you got Storm right here. It says Goddess of the Elements. And yeah, she's right there. And then you got Punk Storm, Silver Foil, Gold Foil, and Hollow Foil. And then her built-in emote is she actually spawns in her cape. So yeah, don't really ever use that just because the cape is so weird and it's kind of just like a solid circular thing in game. It really does not work that well. But yeah, and then you got Dr. Doom right here. And yeah, you got default God Emperor Doom, which is a lot like the Zev style or whatever for the fusion skin. And then silver foil, gold foil, and hollow foil. And yes, as Eternal Ruler of Latveria, he is Doom. And then you got Mystique. It says Deadly Assassin, Undisputed Master of Disguise. Of course, I didn't unlock this style, but then you got silver foil, gold foil, and hollow foil, and then that is, of course, the Tactical Mystique. And what's really cool about her is her emote is you can actually like hold up the skull and you transform into whatever skin you just killed. So if you do it in lobby or whatever, it'll just be the default. But yeah, and of course Doom does actually have an emote, but I can't really use it because you have to unlock it by getting a victory royale, and of course you can't do it in there. But it's really cool. Of course he like spins around in his little chair. Oh, you can see it right here. There we go. So yeah, really cool emote, but sadly you can only do it when you get victory royales, so you just have to be wearing him and get a victory royale. So yeah, you're barely going to be able to really use that. But then Tony Stark, like my favorite superhero, Iron Man, and yeah, he's right here. It says billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, inventor. Yeah, and then you got silver foil, gold foil, and hollow foil, and it's really cool because of course he will transform into his nanotech suit. And what I really like about this one is if you look up the Mark 85 suit, that's my favorite Iron Man suit. It's one he died in, and the one in Avengers Endgame. And pretty much this suit is very obviously based off of that. Literally the only difference is this arc reactor is just a circle, and that one's just kind of like that more kind of pentagon, roundish pentagon kind of shape. Yeah. But that's really cool because that's why I was talking about some things are obviously based off the MCU, and that's really cool. And I will show a couple of this guy's other styles because it's really cool. You can actually do this, and he has different colored suits, which this looks a lot like the Mark II suit, just the all silver one. And then you can also do Mark 21, which is codenamed Midas. This also looks a lot like that. It's just an all gold suit. And then, of course, you got the hollow foil suit, which is just like a rainbow Iron Man, which he doesn't really have a rainbow suit. Yeah, so that is that. Really happy to have that, and especially because we now actually have my top 3 favorite superheroes. I never thought we would have my top 3 favorite superheroes as Fortnite skins, but we do now, because, of course, we have Iron Man, and then my second favorite, Batman, which we have 2 skins for, and then, of course, Deadpool. Right there, which is second, sometimes first. Him and Iron Man are kind of almost tied, but yeah, just so cool that we actually have all of them. And like this guy's based, like he's kind of comics, but he's mainly based off the movies, which I think is cool because that's kind of my favorite Deadpool looking suit. And then of course we have the Dark Knight trilogy Batman and like comic suit Batman, and then we have Iron Man, which is kind of based off Mark 85, so it's kind of the best possible outcome I could have gotten for my favorite superheroes. Then the secret skin for the season was Wolverine right here. Of course, the comic book one. It says he's the best there is at what he does. This style I unlock, very ugly in my opinion, but it's like the classic one in like his first couple comics. And then you got silver foil, gold foil, and hollow foil. And then his emote is to actually spawn his claws, and then you can actually use them as a harvesting tool, as you can see right there. They don't stay out in the locker, but you can actually put them away. But yeah, you can use those as harvesting tools, or a harvesting tool, which is really cool. And then of course there's all the powers in the game for all the superhero stuff, which all that stuff is a very fun game mode. I had a lot of fun with that this season. Although I haven't been playing near as much, maybe like once a week, just because of work and whatever else I do. But yeah, so next up is Silver Surfer. Just it says reflective rider of the cosmic currents, and yeah, just bald silver naked dude. But yeah, so this guy is probably the most close related to the event though. Hence why if you watch that video, be the video right after this one, or right before this one, I'm actually going to post this next Friday, even though I'm filming it before the event video, but I'm going to just post the event video off schedule on Tuesday, and then I'll just wait to post this until next Friday, because I usually post it the day after the next season starts, so that's usually what it would be. But yeah, of course this guy used to be like kind of partners with Galactus, so he's pretty closely related there, but he doesn't have any styles or built-in emotes or anything, so nothing much going on there. But yeah, pretty cool. Then we got Tart Tycoon, which you unlocked like towards the end of last season. Of course, it's pretty funny. It's with all the Apple lawsuit and stuff, but it came out as a pretty cool skin, and it's literally like Apple embodied into a skin, and it has this really cool static effect and whatnot. And yeah, just really cool skin, and just is very different and looks cool in game and whatnot. But yeah, that is Tart Tycoon, and it says hashtag free Fortnite as its description. But yeah, but then we got Seeker right here. The starter pack says nothing's lost that can't be found. And then Dread Omen, my favorite of all the Omen skins. Really don't like the original one, and Molten is probably my second favorite one, but this one's my favorite. Not just a direct recolor, but yeah. It says your victory is dreaded by many. And yeah, really cool skin there. Then the Mighty Volt. Right here, this is a big one this season, the superhero skins. And yeah, this is the one I chose. High Voltage. I didn't get to read all that. High Voltage and Ready to Roll. And yeah, I'm not going to go through all these, but these skins are insane. As you guys may have seen, they have all this customization. It is insane. But yeah, this is my superhero. You can choose any emoticon you have to put on there, which I believe they fixed it. It used to only show certain ones, but I believe that's like all my emoticons now. But yeah, this is just my main superhero, all the colors and whatnot. And yeah, I call him Eternal Bloom, which I believe is what that emoticon's called. Yeah, Eternal Bloom. But yeah, really cool skins, definitely worth 2,000. And yeah, just all the other stuff that comes with them, which we'll show later as well. But then Razor, the Battle Breakers Save the World collaboration skins finally came to Battle Royale. I thought it's been like 2 years almost, I swear. But yeah, I didn't think they were coming to Battle Royale after all, but they finally did. But yeah, of course, I bought them anyway, because why not? Even though I have them to Save the World, and it says reclaim your kingdom one break at a time. So there's Razor. And then, of course, the other one is Kiro Kimura. Right there, it says born of fire and destined for greatness. And then you got the Brats. Finally got them. I had 1,200 extra V-Bucks, and I figured why not get the Glizzy. So it says the Brat relish the winds right there. And then, of course, you can take off his hat. And then you got the Corrupted Legends pack, which I really liked. Really cool, and I was hoping you could like select the amount of corruption, and you can, which is very cool. But yeah, so you got Corrupted Arachne right here, and these are the styles that or the percentage that I keep them on, but you can actually select the amount of corruption that they have, as you can see there. But yeah, I just keep her on 50 there. But yeah, it says weave a web of corruption to victory. But then you got Corrupted Insight right there, target Insight and totally corrupted. Keep her at 100%. And then Corrupted Shogun, which is probably my favorite out of the set. It says suited for the ultimate corruption, and yeah, he's just really, really cool looking. But yeah, really like that pack. But then you got Blade, the Daywalker Vampire Hunter. Yeah, it says Eric Brooks, the Daywalker, and yeah, just really cool tactical looking skin. And yeah, another Marvel hero. And you got the jacket on, big old trench coat. But yeah, really cool. Really like the maroon and whatnot. Yeah. And next up is Teef. Finally got him. Of course, I didn't want him last year when he first came out, but with all the Nosh memes from Pizzo, I ended up wanting him, and he's actually a pretty good skin. And it says life's chewy when you're born to chomp. So yeah, finally got him now that he finally came back. So yeah, so that's good that I finally got him. And then Zero, I finally got him. I've been wanting him, but I just didn't really want to drop the 2,000 V-Bucks, but I figured why not finally just do it. And yeah, it's just everything and nothing. Of course, like the black hole embodied into a skin, pretty much. But yeah, lots of animation, really cool skin there. And then Midfield Maestro. These ones came back. I just figured why not get one of them. I already have one of the other soccer skins, but why not get a male one? And then I might as well not get it just like a regular male soccer skin. I'll just get one of the zombie ones and differ it up a little bit. And it says represent your Krypton style right there. And I just have one on him, but yeah, that's all you can do is the numbers for those guys. Yeah. But then you got Nash from the new I can't remember what it's called, the Fortnite little bundle. It's basically the same thing as last year's, but with gender swaps. So yeah, select the male of Willow is Nash, Haunted and Heartbroken right there. Yeah, like the Final Reckoning bundle. But yeah, you got Curse Nash and Default, which they both look really good. I kind of like him a little better than Willow, honestly, but I don't know, the helmet, the head, I just really like. It's pretty unique and whatnot. But yeah, and he's got like animation and everything. But yeah, and then you got Grave. Lots of detail on these skins, and they grew on me. I usually wouldn't like these colors, but yeah, these cool like Day of the Dead kind of looking skins, and yeah, really cool actually. I like them quite a bit. But yeah, it says leather and roses are the last things you'll see. And then you got Violet, which looks pretty cool in the dark. It says embrace the dark, so yeah, but she looks pretty cool in the dark. Other than that, it's kind of basic, but yeah, because she does like glow a little bit in the dark. But yeah, and then you got Storm Racer, pretty basic skin, didn't come with any backblings, but I just figured like the designs on them were really cool, and I get one that says leave the competition in your rear view. Yeah, you got the base one, Default, green, and then my favorite one, the purple, kind of storm themed looking, and then yellow right there. So I just think pretty darn cool, pretty worth it for all those styles and everything. But then after that you got Daredevil, another Marvel hero, of course, Matt Murdock, the man without fear. And of course I wanted this guy a lot more after watching like the Netflix series a while ago and whatnot, since they were pretty great, especially like Daredevil and Punisher and whatnot. Yeah, so I think this one, he looks based half off of comics, half off of like the Netflix series, but I think he looks pretty good. Yeah, and then you also got these cool styles where illustrated, and they look pretty cool in game, and yeah, just pretty darn unique. I thought it was gonna be like Tina's kind of comic style, but it's actually a little different, and yeah, it just looks really cool. It feels like you're playing as a drawing or something in game. But then you got the Samurai Scrapper. We actually had two Save the World starter packs this season. I thought it was gonna be like one per season, but they're kind of pumping them out quick. And it says a true warrior can make a weapon from whatever is at hand. Main thing I like about this guy is his little, whatever these are called on the samurai's helmet. They're actually made out of license plate from the four different locations in Save the World. You got Stonewood, Plankerton, Kenny Valley, and Twin Peaks, which I just love the Save the World representation. And his armor is built out of like torn up, cut apart road signs and or street signs and like cut up tires and stuff. And he does have a style to take his helmet off as well. But yeah, really cool there. And then of course these do come with like Save the World schematics and some challenges to complete daily quests to get V-Bucks and X-ray tickets and whatnot. But yeah, and then you got Containment Specialist from the little Ghostbusters collaboration. But I just got a skin. It says Ghost not on his watch, but I just got a skin. I wasn't going to, but I wanted to like kind of have at least one kind of full Ghostbuster thing, so I just got one of the skins, and this is the one I got. Couldn't really tell if it's a Ghostbuster unless if you actually see the logo, but yeah, I mean on itself not that great, but when it's paired with everything else, it's very great because it's a Ghostbuster. But yeah, and then you got Headlock, which wasn't a huge fan of at first, but he definitely grew on me, and he's actually really cool. I love playing as him, and yeah, it says Unleash Your Hunger, and I just love when you're hopping around all the chains and stuff, and his fog and everything, and just like his jacket and his colors and everything. But yeah, I actually really like him. Not sure if he's gonna be Fortnite exclusive, but yeah, because if not, he won't return until next year, but we'll just have to see. And then the other one I really wanted was Punk. did kind of think he should have been rare, but then I found out that if you buy him, he was like 1800, but it came with an epic skin, of course his back bling epic, and an epic harvesting tool, which you actually, it's a baseball bat, and I was just like, this is kind of basic, not sure how it's worth epic. But you actually, for once, not only hold it like a baseball bat, but you actually swing it like a baseball bat. Again, watch some videos if you want to see how it looks, but yeah, very cool. But yeah, it's a smashing, pretty basic skin, but it's just like a cool street style jack-o'-lantern dude, and he's got those cool animated eyes. But yeah, and then you got Ghost Rider, which is really awesome. I've been a big fan of Ghost Rider for a long time. But yeah, so the thing about Legends is sometimes they're true, and I think they did really well on him. And yeah, just really cool. And his whole set, Iron Man's and Ghost Rider's full sets are some of my favorite in the game. And the main thing about this one is like not only his glider's insane, but like how his chains and the way you swing his chains. Like if you haven't seen it, definitely go check out a video. It's really, really cool. But yeah, really happy about that set. But then you got Lachlan. I wasn't gonna get this, but I just figured I would continue getting all like the YouTuber/streamer skins. Or bundles, whatever. And yeah, it says playing around to discover greatness, part of the power set, or PWR. But yeah, pretty basic, but I do like kind of the style and whatnot. Kind of reminds me of like Vendetta or whatever. But yeah, when you get eliminations and whatnot, he actually starts getting like the yellow and blue lightning animation, that lightning bolt, and his hair lights up and whatnot. And once he's reacting and whatnot, he's actually a pretty cool skin. It's just he's not one where you can like select that style. It has to be reactive, which sometimes that kind of sucks because it doesn't usually work correctly on Save the World. And on Battle Royale, sometimes you just like the skin on that style and you don't want to have to get millions of eliminations just to use it. But yeah, and then Powerhouse, another Save the World starter pack, probably one of my favorite ones. But yeah, really like this skin. It says Elite Vendor Tech Electro Trooper. Reminds me of Isaac Clarke from the Dead Space games, honestly. But yeah, I don't know if that's like Slurp or what, but yeah, just a lot of detail. He's like this cool robot character, and he's like a lot of the people who complain about bulk or whatever, like this skin's like not even bulky or anything. Of course, I don't ever really mind or anything. But yeah, I really love him, the colors, everything. But then you got Venom. Really cool that they added this guy. Of course, it says their complicated relationship. You got Default right here, and then Extreme, which is really insane, and just all the animation and detail, and I just love this style. He's just really cool in game, and yeah, I just feel like if you don't have a high grade PC or performing device, I feel like this could drop your frames. But yeah. But then you got Mincemeat from the little kind of Thanksgiving bundle, with the 2 skins, Harvesting Tool and a Glider, and 1 backbling. But yeah, it says made with love and meat, I believe it said. Yeah, made with love and meat. But yeah, pretty creepy skin for Thanksgiving. I don't think there's really been any like specific Thanksgiving sets or skins, but these came out like the day before, so, and they kind of themed that way. So yeah, but it's really cool. It kind of makes me cringe, like these little splits. They just remind me like snapped tendons and whatnot, and his feet just look like a dead person that died in like a freezing cold place. They're kind of preserved and whatnot. But yeah, and he's got like flies and steam and whatnot. But yeah, pretty cool skin, honestly. Just really gross and creepy. And then Cobb, which is a kind of peely reskin, but I don't really mind. So shake off that husk and grab some butter. But yeah, we finally got a corn on this Cobb skin, and it's really cool because you can actually select the styles, luckily, but he actually reacts. I'm not exactly sure what. I thought it was 2 eliminations, but it's kind of just happens randomly whenever I get any damage. But yeah, he gets a little popcorn afro. So yeah, and you can have it non-reactive, default, which is the reactive one, or full pop. And when they actually pop onto your head real quick, and then like it doesn't last for too long, and then they just pop off, and there's like an actual like animation. But then I finally got the Darkfire bundle. Of course, it came out last year for $30, and I just was like, I don't really know if I want it for that. But this year it came out just a couple days ago as like a little Black Friday deal. You could get it for $15, which I thought was like a steal. So yeah, I decided to finally get it. But yeah, so of course that came with Dark Power Cord right here. It says rock on in the darkness. And then you got Molten Omen, of course my second favorite Omen. Just really love the cracked lava rock kind of look, and it says your victory has been burned in fate. Pretty cool skin there. And then last but not least, my least favorite out of the bundle is Shadow Arc. Just not a big fan of these Shadow series. Like maybe if it was kind of like a black, and I was thinking like an animated kind of silverish white animation, but instead it's like this black and then just this like LED fluorescent looking white, and just does not match. And like you would think like, oh, this will just match anything that's black and white, but it really doesn't. It's actually hard to find the stuff that matches this stuff. But yeah, so Shadow Arc, do like all the detail and whatnot, but it's just I'm not a big fan of the Shadow series stuff. Yeah, so that is all the new skins that I got throughout this season, but then there's also some styles. So, Penny, right here, of course you got the base style, but they actually gave her a Halloween style, which is, of course, Cat Structure Penny from Save the World, so that's pretty cool. And then they also gave her back bling, which, of course, we'll get on to a little bit later. But then Dummy got a new style, which I absolutely love. Again, you guys always know I love carbon fiber so much, and they gave him a complete carbon fiber style, which is just beautiful. You got the base one, which I loved, just a crash test dummy, but now fully carbon fiber. It's all detailed and shiny, and yeah, actually has like that texture kind of look, and yeah. And I made like a full carbon fiber set, just using everything that I had that had like carbon fiber or whatnot, and yeah, and just looked so good. And yeah, absolutely beautiful. So happy for that style. But then you got Boxer right here. He, of course, was a concept by Sharktooth, I believe, but then he made another, like, kind of Halloween concept that they finally added, which is, like, a painted-on kind of skeleton look, which is pretty cool there, and it's called a scare package, like care package, so you know. But then my boy Bush Ranger got another style. He's just going through the seasons. He's got the default, the blooming Bush Ranger, but now the autumn Bush Ranger, which is my least favorite style, but yeah, just because I thought it was like glitched. But yeah, his leaves are falling off, and he's just, next style is going to be like winter, and he's just going to be like a trunk. But yeah, that's him. But of course my favorite one is still blooming Bush Ranger. Like, what a beautiful boy. Yeah, that is all the styles. So that is it for all of the new skins that I got throughout the season. So now let's put on a skin that I can easily show off back blings. I think I usually choose wildcard. Yeah, so now onto the back blings, which is, of course, Thor's cloak. Right here it says Thor's Herald cloak. So yeah, so really cool. The only thing that kind of throws it off is the red if you're wearing it on different skins. And then you got the silver foil, which the only thing it changes is like this circle right here. And then gold foil, and then hollow foil, which looks pretty much the same as gold foil there. Maybe when you're looking around it'll look a little different. But yeah, and then you got the Scales of Justice right here. Just, I can't remember what they're called, a little scale or whatever. Overruled. And then of course you have like the radioactive symbol, since that's like how they got their powers. But yeah, pretty cool, honestly. I think it looks good on quite a bit of skins. But yeah, and then you got Sapling Groot. They finally, not only next season is there a leaked Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian skin, which I am absolutely hyped for. Supposedly it's going to be the secret skin, and I don't care how many challenges it takes, I will get everyone done to complete every last thing in style from his set, because I absolutely love everything about like Star Wars and everything. And yeah, Mandalorian is absolutely vibing right now, so definitely that. But yeah, of course, along with that, there's also Baby Yoda. I'm not sure if that's gonna be like a pet, which if it is, I think it's gonna be like the rocket pet, how it kind of like follows and flies around by you. Or did I just call him Baby Yoda? I meant Grogu. Yeah, so but yeah, Sapling Groot. Finally got him as a backbling. Says, don't forget to water your Groots. And yeah, he just sits there in the pot and dances. So that's a much needed backbling. Everybody was, when they saw the Marvel series, everybody was saying, like, we need a Baby Groot backbling. But then, of course, Rocket, which I was talking about earlier. He is a pet that just flies right behind you, which is so awesome. It says, just don't call him a raccoon pal. But then you have Doom's Cowl. which is right here. Oh, I thought I was gonna have to. I was gonna say some of the back blings only really work on certain skins, and I thought I was gonna have to switch to that skin just to show the back bling, but it does it for me, which is very nice. But yeah, you can see you can only use this again. The kind of isolating nature of the battle pass. You can only use this on Doctor Doom, but it does wrap around him and whatnot, and makes him look nice and blows around and whatnot. But the other cool thing I forgot to mention is this battle pass. Like they've been, almost every single like superhero skin has their own walking sound, which like every single skin has had the same sound. But now like Iron Man, like when he's like regular, he has the regular sound. But then once you put the suit on, he actually has like a metal heavy foot sound. Doctor Doom has kind of the same sound. Venom has like a, sounds like he's running around in wet tennis shoes or something. And then a few others, but yeah, it's really cool how they're doing that, just putting that much more into skins, which is pretty cool. But then you got the Doom Chalice, a pretty big meme here. In the description it says nothing finer than Latvian silk. But then yeah, you got seal your fate with a toast, which is pretty cool there. But yeah, it's a meme among the community. And yeah, and then you got Mystique's skull right here. It says an ancient artifact that yearns for combat, reactive because it transforms, just like the skin transforms into the skin that you just killed. This will transform into the back bling that you just killed. But yeah, and also its eyes kind of light up and glow red sometimes too. Yeah. But then you got the Iron Man backplate right here. And it says nanotech assisted targeting system. Pretty cool because that it's actually one of the back blings that like counts your eliminations. So that's what that number right there is for. That will actually count your eliminations, and you can see it actually opens and closes. And that is actually like a laser sight. I say this is kind of pay to win, because when you're aiming in, that laser kind of points to like exactly where your crosshair is, so it's almost like a laser sight. But yeah, again, full Iron Man set, absolutely amazing. But then you got Wolverine's trophy, which is a Sentinel's chopped off head. It says he won it fair and square, which it's got the default, and the activated. And it does actually make a lot of noise if you can hear that. So yeah, still not sure if enemies can hear like noise, but now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever heard like an enemy's pet making noise or whatever, because I was thinking like, what if you're just trying to camp out a challenge or whatever, and they can hear your back bling. So yeah, so I'm not sure if anyone could confirm that, then do that, but yeah, I'm not quite sure, because if so, then that's completely pay to lose. But yeah, it says he won it fair and square, if I haven't said that already. But yeah, but then you got Harold Stark, him a Silver Surfer, and it says Galaxy Potential in one tiny package. The only thing that's weird about this back bling is like it sticks like awkwardly far off, and yeah, it just looks weird how far off your back it is, but it's very detailed, and it's just like a little galaxy thing on your back, which is pretty cool. And then you got the Chain Stick pack right here, built for back alley brawls. And then the Dread Shroud. Really like this back bling or cape, shrouded in dread. And then the Emote cape, which is of course from the superhero set. Again, that's the one that I have to go with my superhero little skin that I set up, and it says express yourself on the battle cape. And once again, you can choose all the primary colors, the color of the clasp, and the emoticon that you have on it and whatnot. So yeah, so once these came out, they kind of just killed off the banner skins that you could put your banner icons on now, because now these ones you can fully customize and put emoticons on, which don't know if you like banner icons or emoticons better, but yeah. Yeah, so that is that. And then you got the holo pack right here, which is like the other one. It's just a hologram, which I think everybody in the community is kind of getting sick of these hologram back blings and like ball back blings that are just like balls of whatever type or sort or anything. Yeah, so hopefully we don't get too much more of those, because we have quite a bit. But of course, it's just basically you can display whatever emoticon on your back. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it says holographic self-expression. Yeah, so then you got Fierce Cloud Puff right here, very cute, fiercely adorable, obsessed with cookies and sandwiches. And then the Fire Vortex, pretty darn cool little fire portal looking thing. The Swirling Flame of the Great Beyond. And then you got the Corrupted Legends bundle backbling. So you got the Corrupted Long Legs. So stretch your corrupt legs. I don't have these all set to the same percentages as the skins that correspond with them. I just have it once again set to how I like them. Yeah, so you got that, and then the Corrupted Sight Sling says expertly sighted yet riddled with corruption. Right there, and then you got the Corrupted Bladed Wings. It says the edged wings of corruption, and this combo just looks really good. Yeah, just this and black and silver, or that dark green silver, I absolutely love. I just think it looks so good. Yeah, once again, my favorite skin in the bundle, and probably my favorite backbling in the bundle. Yeah, and then you got the Sword of the Daywalker right here. Yeah, it says look but don't touch. Yeah, it's another like sword backbling, but it's just straight down your back, and yeah, very simple. Once again, looks really good here. Yeah, and if you actually use it with the sword that you can, the harvesting tool you can only get by buying like blade that comes with backbling and its harvesting tool. You actually do pull it out of the sheath, so then you'll just have the sheath there, and then once you stop using it, the sword will be back in the sheath. But they're doing that with a lot of skins, of course, where you actually like pull it out. Like if you use Daredevil's batons with him, he'll actually pull it out of his little holster on his leg, as well as a lot of other skins that you guys probably already know about. Yeah. Next up is the cake backbling, of course, from like the 3rd birthday or whatever. They finally made another cake backbling for the 3rd birthday. So yeah, it says We're 3 right there. Yeah, and then Octane from the awesome little Rocket League collaboration that they did with the challenges. One of the final things that you got is this backbling. It says take your shot, and it's just like one of the base cars from Rocket League, and it does also have an orange style, so you can have like the orange and blue teams from Rocket League. Yeah, it's actually called Octane RL, Octane Rocket League. Yeah. So then you got the Nosh backbling, where it all started from. The snack that bites back, and yeah, it's just nasty. He grits his teeth, just makes you cringe, but it is literally Nosh in all of its beauty. That is the main reason everybody buys that skin now. Yes, it is a ball backbling, but you gotta give it a pass. So yeah, and then Black Hole, again, I think a lot of people are also getting sick of these types of backblings. This reskin of this was the original one, yeah, it says one singularity sensation. But this one I think kind of gets a pass. Like this one is not only like, it's not just a cool backbling. Like this one is literally the Fortnite Black Hole. Like this will have a lot of nostalgia around it, and a lot of hate around it, for just unexplainably shutting down the game for like 2 or 3 days. Yeah, pretty cool. But of course there are the other backblings like this one and this one, yeah, so hopefully they slow down on that backbling as well. But I have all 3 of them now. Yeah, but then you got the Zomball. It says Goal from Beyond the Grave. It's like a little zombie soccer ball right there. And then you got Lil Nashy right there. It says take a little chomp out of life. Cool little doll there. And then you got the Reaper's backplate. Once again, very detailed, and it says forever wilting, never blooming. It's just very hard to find stuff that matches with the set, but it just looks really good altogether by itself, in my opinion. Yeah, and then you got the UV wings. A whole new spectrum of spookiness, which these are pretty cool. When you're flying around jumping, they actually like open like straight. Like I've never really been a big fan of like the animations that they added to wings. You guys know like they used to just have it back when like the only wings in the game were the love wings. They used to just have them stay solid like that, but then ever since Ravage came out, her wings had like an animation and whatnot, and they even added it to these wings. Now all the wings have that animation, which I'm still not the biggest fan of. but the UV wings really spread, like they go straight out, which looks kind of dumb. But overall, they look pretty cool, and the male version's wings are just like a purple recolor of these wings. Yeah, they're not as creative, especially if you already have those ones. Now you have these ones, which just look like it, but a little more jagged. Yeah. So then you got the radar senses. It says I see you, which is a pretty creative backbling, very subtle. As you can see, it doesn't even look like you're wearing a backbling half the time. It just kind of goes like that for his echolocation, whatever he calls it. I believe it's that. Yeah, so that's pretty darn cool. But then you got the Scrapper Sashimono. Just like the other Sashimono backbling, I don't think anyone's a big fan of these. You got a big old flag sticking off your back, but it says raise your banner and stand out in battle. Pretty cool backbling. It's just, I'm not sure, like, I don't mind, like, big stuff or whatever again. It's just this one, like, something sticking up above my head, like, by, like, 1.5 feet just feels weird. And, yeah, just kind of obnoxious. Yeah. Then you got the Ghost Trap, which I pretty much just bought the whole Ghostbusters accessories. I wasn't going to get this, but again, it's literally just like, these are like exactly how they look in the movies. And yeah, you just got the Ghost Trap. It says careful you don't let anything out, but yeah, it's pretty cool. When you open, the doors kind of swing around, you can see like a little bit inside, just purple and whatnot. It would be cool if it was like the Ghost Portal and it like let out like little ghost icons of like a Slimer or a Stay Puft, whatever. But I still think we should get like an animated ectoplasm wrap and like a Stay Puft skin and a Slimer backbling, just saying. Yeah. But then we got the Proton Pack, one of my favorite backblings that released this season. It says don't cross the streams, but it's literally just a Proton Pack with all of the detail and glory. And yeah, just really cool. It is reactive. Every time you get a kill, it makes like a kind of sound. And those little things will light up. As you can see, they're kind of pulsing, but one of them will light up and then it lights up to 4. And then that blue bar will actually fill up. Sadly, nothing happens once you get it all the way full for whatever reason, but still pretty cool, I think. Yeah, really cool that we got that. And then we got Trappy right here. Big old like bear trap. It says watch your fingers with a big old bone in there. And once you add that to the headlock skin, you got another chain, and it's just really cool with all the chains swinging around. But then you got the squash bats, not the squaw bats, or squish. But yeah, squash bats, extra batty. At first I thought it was just pretty simple, but I did notice it actually has his harvesting tool on it. So when you use his pair it with his harvesting tool, he actually takes it out of his back bling and will put it back, of course, like I was talking about. But usually it kind of just appears in their hands and whatnot. But this is like the first one to actually like not only incorporate that feature, but it actually incorporates like an animation. Like you can actually see him like pull it out of his back bling. So yeah, that's why I think this whole like set with the skin, back bling, and harvesting tool for 1800 is absolutely worth it. Like the unique harvesting tool swing effect and the like grabbing it out of his backpack and whatnot. And it just overall looks really good, and his like the soles of his shoes like kind of light up like neon orange, which are pretty cool. I didn't notice it right away, just in case if you haven't noticed it. Something to look out for. But yeah, and then you got the Infernal Chain. Yes, another ball back bling. It says wrapped in supernatural flame. Looks pretty cool, but they definitely kind of didn't know what to do for backlings for Venom and Ghost Rider because they just made balls of stuff. Yeah, it still looks cool, but yeah, it's just that. But then you got the Power Pack right here, or the PWR pack, and it's literally just like the logo for that. Kind of another hologram back bling. Yeah, apparently it's reactive or something. I just like now noticed that. Okay, it is reactive. I'm not sure how, but apparently it is. Yeah, and then you have the Power Pack. Yeah, not PWR pack, the Power Pack, and then supercharging crackling with electric might. Very simple, probably my least favorite part of the starter pack. Just a nice back bling, but just simple, and I don't know if I'll use it too often. But then you got the Tendril Tote, the other ball back bling. It says don't forget the buddy system, but it's kind of cool. It shrinks and grows and like shoots symbiote everywhere. But yeah, pretty cool. But another ball back bling. And then you got Stir Baby, such a weird name. Yeah, and a creepy thing. It says who wants to lick the bowl, and it's just that. And when you start running, it actually kind of slows down and lifts the whisk out just like that. But then when you like just kind of hold still, it will speed up and just stir. But yeah, it's kind of weird. And then you got the logo a go-go, another hologram kind of back bling, but you can just display whichever NFL team you want to. Of course, I got the Seahawks. It says fly your colors, and they pretty much just made a new football set, which is not too far different from the other ones. So I didn't buy anything new. I just bought the back bling because the other stuff I thought was kind of useless. Yeah. Of course, you got like all the teams and whatnot, and you can also put the Fortnite llama, which I thought we had this as an emoticon. I'm not sure if we do from an earlier season, but I don't have an emoticon of just like the llama's head like this. I thought I did, but I guess not. But yeah, so I just got the Seahawks on there. Not sure if they're going to fix it, but if you're a fan of like these teams, oh, never mind, they fixed it. The other day when I was looking at these, they were like slightly pixelated and didn't look that great for like these bigger logos, but they all fixed it, I guess. So yeah, so now any logo is all smooth, I guess. Alright, so I guess it works now. But yeah, you can just display whatever football team you want on your back bling, or NFL team. So yeah, so then you got the Dark 6 string, which I know lots of people are huge fans of these back blings. I didn't really like them, and I thought the neck of the guitar kind of looked curved, but yeah, it says tuned to the key of darkness. Yeah, once you actually play for it with it yourself, it actually doesn't look curved, and now I can't really unsee it, and it just doesn't really look curved to me anymore. But also when you're like in games, the strings are like this cool like fluorescent pink, and yeah, I'm actually a big fan of this back bling as well now. Yeah, of course I don't have like the regular one with the regular power cord because I'm just not a big fan. Yeah, and especially not for Legendary. Even though she got that other style, still not a big fan. Yeah, and then you got the Molten Battle Shroud. Really love this back bling. Yeah, so Shroud in Fire. And yeah, just really like that back bling. Of course, it's got smoke effects. But then you got these Shadow Arc Wings. Again, they're alright, just with that bright white, just eh. But it says Feathered Darkness. And yeah, as you can see, like this is a black and white skin, but that white just doesn't really match because it lights up so much. But that is it for the back blings, except for a couple new styles. Of course, we got the carbon fiber style for this. So you just make it look like a nice racing or sports car. I guess not really that, just like a carbon fiber, like that doesn't look like it came out of a sports car. I still just keep it on the base style just because I like the little air freshener and whatnot. Yeah, I think it kind of just adds to the whole theme and whatever. But then the Buzzy Bag, of course, also got another style. Right here you got the base one, the Blooming Buzzy Bag, and the Autumn Buzzer right there. And then you got the number 1, which I didn't even watch this. I don't usually like watch all this stuff to like unlock all the Twitch drops and whatever now, because I just am either not home at the times that they happen, or I just don't get around to it. But somehow I still got the style. You had to watch it to get it, but I didn't. But I ended up getting it anyway. But yeah, I got the pink style for this. Still not even going to use it. If I do use this back bling, I'm going to use this one anyway, but it's cool that I got it for not even doing it. Yeah. So that's it for the back blings. So now onto the harvesting tools. So first off, we got Mjolnir. Right here, of course, Thor's hammer. I'm not sure why it's doing the Season X thing, showing like challenges that you have to complete, even though I already have it. Because yes, they still have not updated that from Season X. It still says that stuff. Yeah, it says whosoever holds this hammer. Sadly, again, isolation. You can only use this with Thor and Captain America, which is cool that they did let Captain America use it, even though there have been other people in comics that have been worthy, but I'm not sure. Can't remember if there's any other Marvel Fortnite skins that have been worthy in the comics, but in the MCU and whatnot, Captain America has been, of course, so you can only use it with them. It does have a unique animation, and yeah, it's really cool that we have Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer and Mjolnir. Yeah. But then you got the Hammers of Justice. Again, they did that thing that everybody loved where you can have it dualies or single for the ones that it was there for. And it says court is in session. And you can have it as this, which I usually like the single ones, of course. But this one I chose dualies because they're supposed to be like gavels. And this is more on the size of an actual gavel. And it's pretty cool on the little hitting part or whatever. The face of the hammer, you got the radiation. symbol. But then this one, which again, we just have a lot of sledgehammer harvesting tools at this point, and that's kind of just another one. But yeah, it sounds like this. And I don't think I showed Mjolnir how that sounds. I forgot we gotta show the sound for all of them. But it sounds like this. So yeah, so pretty cool there. But then you got Groot sap axes right here. They are also Groot. It sounds like this. Whoops. So yeah, I like that one the best. But then you also got dualies there. But yeah, pretty simple. Just like made out of twigs and whatnot, of course. But then you got the Hand of Lightning right here. And this one's actually cool because it actually shows it with the skin I'm using. It says harness the elements, and you can actually see him swinging it. So of course it has this animation, sounds like that. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's literally just like lightning shooting out your hand. In game, it's pretty bright and flashy, so you might want to be careful if you have epilepsy or something. But yeah. But then Staff of Doom, absolutely love this harvesting tool. Sticks off my screen a little bit, but it says imbued with arcane energy. But yeah, just really love the animation. Just really looks cool, and it has a cool animation. Sounds like that, and a cool contrail and whatnot. But yeah, and then you got the Gilded Morphic Blades right here. Goes with any look. Sounds like this. Kind of model off that like deadliest blade in the world, the twist blade kind of thing. And then you also have the dualies right there, and then the little like silver morphic style for them. But yeah. But then, you got the Mark 85 Energy Blade, which, just like I was saying, I thought it was modeled off the Mark 85, and here we go, name-dropping the Mark 85. But yeah, it says Tony originally designed this one for shaving, and yeah, it's just like his little gauntlet kind of transforming into a blade. It sounds like this. It's pretty cool again. Then you got the Silver Surfer, Silver Surfer pickaxe, not too creative, but it says the pickaxe cosmic. I wouldn't have got this. This is just like way too simple and boring for my liking. It has a slight contrail and a slight impact look. But yeah, I just got it because of course like all the Marvel stuff comes in like bundles, and it's just cheaper to get the bundles. So yeah, but it sounds like this. So yeah. And then you got the Street Blade right here. A powerful street sweeping polearm, sounds like this. So yeah, and then the Hulk Smashers. I was really hyped for these, but I didn't get them from like the... You could unlock these from doing like the beta challenges for the Avengers game. And I'm doing that. I don't play on console or whatever, so it's kind of like I couldn't really get them linked and whatnot and whatever else. So I just bought them once they finally came out. But yeah, it says Hulk Smash. These have a really cool animation. Again, search them up if you haven't seen them yet. But yeah, you can literally have Hulk Smashers gauntlets. And yeah, so far they're like the only harvesting tool to be like this. But yeah, these ones sound like this. And then you can also have Hulk Smashers, just like little foam Hulk fish you can get from Target or Walmart or whatever. They sound like this. But yeah, those look, of course, really good as She-Hulk, the green one. But these, like, when paired with the Iron Man skin, it just looks so cool. It looks like he, like, kind of used the nanotech to make bigger fists onto his suit or whatever. But yeah, really happy those finally came out. But then you got the Phantasmic Pulse right here, which is from the superhero set, channeling energy from a far-off star. Again, a lot of styles. You got the secondary color and the primary color, and 3 different kind of designs for it. They are doing a lot of harvesting tools with this animation, so hopefully they keep on doing that, else then it's gonna, everybody's gonna get tired of them, kind of like dualies. But yeah, but still really cool, and of course you just heard how it sounds and whatnot. Yeah. But then you got the Sword of the Daywalker, like I was talking about. You can pull it out of his back bling and whatnot. But yeah, it says Blade's Blade. But it's pretty cool when you actually like hit enemies. That whole whole design on there actually lights up red. Yeah, and you also swing it like swords in Save the World, which is pretty cool. Especially for Battle Royale players who may never seen that. Yeah, and then you got Glow Stick, which if you guys remember, I had this a long time ago, but I refunded it. It was back before I could like buy my own stuff and whatnot, back before I had a job and everything. And yeah, I refunded it to get the paper plane glider, but I finally figured why not buy it back. I did like it, and yeah, I finally got it back. It says, behold, it glows, and yeah, it just sounds like a lightsaber. But yeah, really cool, and I'm happy that I finally got that back. Last time I had it was back in Season 7, so it's been a long time. And it has a cool green, like, kind of light cycle looking contrail. But yeah, and then you got high octane. That's not high octane. I'm not sure why that didn't come up. I guess I'll just have to find it myself. Oh, it's spelled high, like high. But yeah, so high octane. It says geared up and tuned for maximum impact. I don't think this is worth rare. I'm kind of wish I didn't buy it. It's still really cool design and whatnot. But in game it has like no contrail, no impact, pretty basic swing sound. But yeah, the only thing it really has going for it is the overall like design and look. But yeah, I just got it for that. And I didn't watch like Pizzo's video first or anything. And yeah, still cool to have, but it's just really not worth rare, I don't think. Like, it does have 4 styles, but there's uncommon stuff with more styles than that. So yeah, but of course you got the default green, purple, and yellow. Once again, I like purple the best. Yeah. But then you got Daredevil's billy clubs. Like I was talking about, you can pull him out of the sheath on his leg, and it says just like Stick taught him. Yeah, got those right there. They sound like this. It would be really cool if you could actually take these, like, make these single or dual, because if you guys remember, you can actually like screw them together and make them into like a bow staff. So that'd be really cool if you could do that. Now I just now thought of that, and I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, and then you have the illustrated Daredevil's billy clubs, which is really cool. If you actually look, there's actually the Daredevil logo right there. So yeah, I just think that's pretty cool. But next is the Proton Pickaxe, which is really cool. It has one of my favorite contrails, I think, and sounds for a harvesting tool. This is really great, and just that proton kind of animation is just so cool. And it says, "We came, we saw, we picked this axe." Pretty funny that they chose that quote too. Just changed it a little bit. Yeah, just looks really cool, and it sounds like this. Just really funky sounds. Yeah, just really cool. It has really cool contrail and whatnot, which of course you can't see in the locker. But yeah, it's there. Yeah. And then you got the Bash Burner, which is what I was talking about. The Epic Harvesting Tool, which you actually swing like a bat and whatnot. It says Pumpkin Powered Battle Lantern, so not too crazy looking. It's got a little flame on like the stick or twig acting like a wick over there. But it's really cool how you swing it and pull it out. So I think that's what makes it worth Epic. But you also can't like buy it separately. You gotta buy it like with the skin and everything. So yeah, kind of extra makes it worth it. But then yeah, you got the Throwback Axe. They finally brought back all the defaults as buyable skins, which I didn't buy any. Just didn't really want to. Didn't really feel the need. But the harvesting tool they sold in the shop for $0.00, so you could just get it for free. And it just says take your pick, and yeah, it's just the default pickaxe, or the Chapter 1 default pickaxe, of course. Yeah. And then you got the Soulfire chains, which this is why I was talking about how the swing animation. These are absolutely awesome. But yeah, it says Forging Eternal Flame. You got this like spike stake thing in this hook, and yeah, these are just so cool. Probably in Save the World they like don't work. You just swing them like regular dualies. But in Battle Royale, the way you swing these and like connect them and make them into one for like one of the swings, and then just keep on going with dualies and whatnot. These are just so cool. But yeah, and then you got the power slices right here. Power slicers. Play harder, win big, win bigger. But yeah, they sound like that. They're pretty much just an axe and a scythe made out of electricity. And then you got the Symbiote Slasher, which you can only use with Venom, because it kind of morphs into his arm. It says gooey but sharp, and yeah, it's kind of just forms into him. It kind of looks like Riot when he's like this with his big old thing like that. But yeah. Not sure why it's not making any sound, but I'm not sure if it will. Yeah, it won't. It kind of sounds like slimy and whatnot, how you'd expect it to sound. I'm not sure why it's not making any sound. Yeah, and then you got the mash mincers. Right here. I'm not sure why they're favorited. But yeah, it says grab yourself a nice big slice. Pretty basic. I do like how it just says pie on the handle. You'll see with the glider it says the same thing. But yeah, I think they will look good with like some rustic skins, especially like Psycho Bandit. I don't have them, but if you do, I'd recommend these. I think they'd look good with him. But yeah, and then the Dark Strikers, these are like all the same looking harvesting tool. I'm not sure if they're exactly the same. I haven't really looked, but I'm pretty sure they are. But this is pretty much a dually version of the Dark Axe, but of course it's Dark Strikers. It says double shot of darkness, and I actually really like these. These are probably my favorite harvesting tool from the Darkfire bundle. And yeah, just the flicker, because this one kind of has the same thing, but I just think it looks, whoops, I just think it kind of looks a little better on these ones. Yeah, and then you got the Molten Strikers right here. And it says strike with blades of fire, probably my second favorite from the pack. And then the Shadow Strikers right here. Yeah, strike with shadow and light. Not a huge fan of these ones, but yeah, they're there. So that is it for harvesting tools. So now on to gliders, which we got a lot more gliders this season than usual. You guys know I don't buy gliders unless if I like really want them. But there's just a bit of free ones, and of course like the superhero bundles almost always came with one. So yeah, so we ended up getting a few more gliders than usual, even though the battle pass technically only came with 2. But you'll see what like all the other ones technically are. But yeah, so first off you got the Mighty Marvel Umbrella, but a really good victory umbrella. Got it on the first day again. But yeah, that's how it sounds and looks. It's like themed after Galactus with like that dark purple and that red and whatnot, but very cool. And yeah, I think one of the better umbrellas. And it actually doesn't spin. The bottom does. You can see that's like a regular umbrella underneath, but the rest of it actually just flies straight like that. But yeah, and it says, you know what they say, make mine Marvel. But then you got the MCG, which is pretty much the glider of this battle pass. Right here says, sounds like that, and it says a marvel of engineering. And I just like the base style. I just think it's really clean glider and whatnot. As a contrast, you can see there. But yeah, it just looks like that. But then you got a style for each of the battle pass skins. You got they have like these are like kind of like taken off like comic book covers, and they actually have the name of the comic right here, which I'm not gonna read all of them, but you can see right there. But you got Doctor Doom, Groot, She-Hulk, Mystique, Storm, Thor, Iron Man, and Wolverine right there. And then there's another one that you can unlock with like the main like loading screen from this battle pass, but it was like from competing in like a certain amount of the things and whatnot, and I just didn't get it. But yeah, So then you got the Mjolnir's Path, and that's what I was talking about. Is all these gliders did come in the battle pass, but I don't really count them because you can only use them with that skin. They are really cool, and they actually add new animations to gliding and whatnot. And you literally just like fly down and whatnot. And it's just really heroic and epic. But you can only use it with those skins, of course. So you got Mjolnir's Path. So yeah, it says let that hammer fly, and you literally just fly down like that. So that's pretty darn cool. And I'm glad it does show it with the skin. Of course, it makes sense, and it makes it a lot more easy for me. But yeah, and then you got Root Wing, which is the other glider that I talked about from the battle pass. It says fly high on the wings of Groot. But this is the only glider that you can use with like any skin. You don't have to use it with Groot, but it's pretty cool. You actually use it like the Bat Wings glider or whatever, where you actually like kind of hang on to it like a paraglider or whatever. But yeah, so that's pretty darn cool. That they finally did another glider like that. But then you got Gathering Storm. Says Wings of the Goddess, and yeah, it's pretty darn cool right there. Fly down in a little tornado. And then Arcane Energy Glider. This is Doom is a master of the arcane, and this one it just reminds me of my mom's Acadia when it's like super hot and whatnot. Sometimes it'll make the same sound. It goes like whoa, whoa, whoa. And also the van in Hit the Road on Save the World makes the same sound, and I'm just like, why are they so interested in this sound? It's not fun to listen to forever. But you can just hear that whoa, whoa, whoa. But yeah, and then you got the Mark 90 flight suit, which this is definitely from the comics because the highest suit he got to in the MCU that we know of is Mark 85. But yeah, Mark 90 flight suit right here. So yeah, it says repulsor powered for a smooth ride. Of course, it does look a lot better when he's in his suit because it kind of looks like he's using repulsors without his repulsors being there. But yeah, it's just kind of like a floating jetpack behind him. But yeah, it just looks a lot better when he's actually suited up. But we can't really do that unless we're like in game or whatever right now. So yeah. But then we got Silver Surfer Surfboard, which is really cool. It has a very cool contrail in game, and Silver Surfer Surfboard right here. And yeah, and of course it kind of like actually flips out. The animation right there kind of just shows it like floating down, but he kind of like flips out, and of course you do ride it like a surfboard. It's another surfing glider. But yeah, this is the only way to surf a solar flare. And I was saying like they added this animation, but somehow still haven't added an actual surfboard glider. But I guess this is the closest we got so far. So yeah, and then we got the Vanguard Squadron X-Wing, which I was really excited for because one of my favorite gliders, my favorite sci-fi ship is of course the Millennium Falcon. We got that as a glider, one of my favorite gliders, and I'm just so happy that we have this. But I was saying like now we just need an X-Wing, and we did. And it's not like Luke's X-Wing or like an actual like X-Wing you would see. It's from the Star Wars Squadrons game or whatever. I believe it was from a promotion for that. Or if you like bought the game, you would get this for free. I just bought it separately in the shop. But yeah. It's right here. Pretty cool animation. It says stay fearless to the finish, I believe. Yeah. But yeah. As you can see, it does have like green and whatnot. It has a little green astromech head, astromech droid head in there. But yeah, pretty darn cool. Again, very detailed like all the Star Wars ships there. But then you got Day Flyer right here. A Whistler original, and now I just laugh every time I deploy this because everybody pointed out that you can hear the Roblox oof if you listen hard enough. I swear they just mixed that into that sound. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but you can like seriously hear the Roblox oof in there. But yeah, and then you got the Devil's Wings right here. So yeah, so it sends out a little echolocation when you first deploy it, and yeah, in the description is he hears everything from above, and then of course it has the different styles. That's actually the front, that's the back, but it's actually a lot smaller in game than you would think. And then I just like the illustrated one better for that specific glider. But then you got the Ecto Glider, which is a really crazy glider, a lot going on, but I absolutely love it. It's just crazy, and it's just like the Ecto one reimagined into a glider, which is cool. Right here. Yeah, lots of noise, and when you're gliding, it will keep on doing that little wow kind of siren sound. But yeah, you can see it's got like the front of the Ecto one. It's got that cool animation right there. A little proton pack kind of design right there, and yeah, just really cool there. And really love that glider. It says by land, by sea, or by air, the Ghostbusters are here for you. Yeah, and then we got the Ghost Glider, which is what I was talking about as well. Absolutely awesome glider. But yeah, sadly you don't actually ride it like a motorcycle, you ride it like a surfboard. Which in the Ghost Rider's Spirit, I'm not sure if he ever did it other than what I'm about to talk about, but I do remember in the second movie, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, he actually for a second did stand up and ride it like a surfboard. But yeah, it's just really cool when you deploy. You actually do hold on to the handlebars and kind of like rev it, and you can see when you deploy it kind of goes up. And yeah, it's just really loud, but I absolutely love it. It's just so loud and it's so cool. But yeah, and it just looks awesome. It's literally Ghost Rider's motorcycle, and that's just sick. So yeah, it's this Johnny Blaze's Infernal Ride. And yeah, definitely one of my more favorite gliders. I think at least top 10 or so. But yeah, and then last but not least, we got MASH right here. So yeah, it just says yummy, 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 and once again it says pie on the handle of the blade right there, and it's just like a meat mince pie flying through the sky. And yeah, that just came in like the bundle. So not a huge fan of this glider. It's okay, but came in the glider. So yeah, or the bundle. So that is all the gliders. Now onto the contrails. So I just favorite them since I've just kind of been putting them on random throughout this season, but I can go ahead and unfavorite them now. Yeah, so first off, you got the Bifrost Glow. It's just straight from Asgard, but you can't really see it right here, but it is, like, has that rainbow effect like you're flying through the Bifrost, which is really cool, actually. Then the Sap Light says a glow with ancient and ennobled sap, which is actually a pretty beautiful contrail. Looks really good in-game, like, at night and whatnot. And then you got Storm Strike. Consider this your storm warning. And it's an alright contrail, but it's just another lightning one, which we kind of have a lot of now. Because, of course, like, one of my favorite contrails is lightning, but then we also have the lightning strike. So yeah, so we're just getting a bit of lightning and whatnot going on here in contrails. But then you got the Doom Drop. Definitely a cool contrail name, and a pretty cool contrail. And it says Doom from above. Right there. But then you got the Zip Ribbons. Right here it says Zippy. And just kind of gives that comic book look, I guess. And then you got Loose Links. It comes in like the little pack. Just kind of, since Brought doesn't come with a back bling, it comes with a contrail. And it says, Who Wants a Dog? And yeah, you just got Link Sausage, Link Glizzies coming out here, from your hands and legs. And sometimes you can see a Glizzy falls off. So yeah, and then you got the Hollow Data Drop, one of my new favorite contrails, definitely up there. You got it from the Rocket League challenges. It says boost into action, and yeah, just the colors and the animation of the cubes and whatnot. I just think it's such a cool contrail. But that is it for the contrails. So now onto the wraps. Again, we're going to show them on the assault rifle like we usually do. Yeah. So first off, we got Starshine right here. And of course, a lot of these are reactive, so like when you shoot them, they'll have like an animation or light up extra or whatnot. But yeah, another like space wrap. We're starting to get a lot of like galaxy or space kind of looking wraps. You can see it has like Thor's little circle kind of design right there. Yeah, I don't think that had a description. Most wraps don't. Yeah, only a few wraps do have a description besides Show Your Style. But then you have Verdant Vascularity right here, Show Your Style. And it is actually reactive. Every time you shoot it, you can see like some like veins or whatever kind of pop up, but you can barely notice it. You really have to look at it, so it doesn't even really matter. But yeah, not a huge fan, but it can go well with certain things, I think. You got Sap, very basic but nice. It's basically just like a mossy wood wrap. So for basic wraps, I haven't really been a big fan of basic Battle Pass wraps lately, but this is actually a decent one, I think. But then you got Cloudburst right here. Show Your Style. Yeah, it's like another storm wrap, but every time you shoot it, like lightning strikes and it lights up and whatnot. As you can see, some lightning strikes every once in a while. So in my opinion, it's like a better version of like the first epic wrap, which was this one, Storm. Just because this one's like purple and whatnot, and it's like lightning, not reactive. But yeah, I just think it's like a better version of that, in my opinion. But then you got Arcane Steel right here, which is, it's a pretty meh wrap one, like right here, but as you can see right there, it is actually reactive, and every time you shoot it, that green fire kind of looking stuff comes off of it, and when you do that, that's when it looks really cool, and I really like it when it does that. Yeah, and then you got Morphic Blue, which is pretty cool. You can see it's like that, but then it actually shapeshifts and just looks like a regular weapon or whatever you're using the wrap on. So yeah, kind of shape-shifting. So yeah, that's pretty darn cool. Yeah, and then you got Inventor's Choice right here. Once again, anime reactive, lights up blue and whatnot when you shoot it, and it's animated because you can see the blue is kind of moving there. And then you got Ferocious right here, but it's pretty cool. You can see like the shiny kind of scratch marks and whatnot, and yeah, it's Wolverine's wrap, of course. But that is that. And then you got Angelfish, which is just a pretty cool little trippy wrap that I liked and got from the shop and whatnot. So yeah, just pretty cool, colorful wrap there. I really like these super colorful wraps. And then you got Silver Flame. which is like the wrap that came with like Hero Kimura and whatnot. And yeah, it looks really good with like the corrupted skins and everything too. And next up is the beat, right here. And of course, every time you shoot it, the beat will go up, and also it also reacts to dancing. So if someone's like dancing near you, it will go up and whatnot too. And yeah, it's just really cool. And also, if you have like a more flat weapon, you can really see the EQ waves. I'm not sure if there's one that'll really show better on necessarily. Yeah, I don't really think so. But yeah, some weapons it really looks even better on. Yeah, so next up we got Keiki right here, which is really cool because every time you shoot it, like confetti rains down and whatnot. So it's basically like the first birthday wrap, but like way better. Because I also like the colors on this one better. Because of course the first birthday wrap was this one, which is just that. But this one, I like the colors better, and it's actually animated, and pretty cool animation. But yeah, and then you got Iridescent right here, which is a really cool wrap. I think like pretty underrated. I don't know many people that bought this. In game, it doesn't look as good, but I just think it's like such a beautiful wrap, and the colors and everything. And it is animated. You can barely see it in game. You pretty much cannot see it. But I still think it's a really, or iridescent, not iridescent. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. But yeah. But then you got Midas Shadow, which is actually really cool. It's like this purple, kind of foggy storm looking one. Once again, I think it's a lot like that storm wrap, but better. It doesn't have like thunder strikes or whatever, but it's just really cool. And like in game, it looks like a, kind of looks like glowing and whatnot. But yeah, that's a really cool wrap, I think. And it's another animated uncommon wrap, which is kind of surprising. And then of course Scanline. Finally got this. I've been wanting it forever, but I just never got around to it, and I finally got it. I literally said like, oh, I want that wrap. I'll just get it next time it comes out, and it came back into the shop the next day. So yeah, so I finally got that. Pretty darn good wrap, and it's only uncommon, so that's pretty good. Yeah, next up is Skull Fire. Right here, just another like fire kind of hot wrap. But I think it kind of gets a pass because this one gets like really realistic fire look. Just people were kind of hating on it because it like looks a lot like Molten Angular Shift and somewhat Burning Bright, kind of triangles, and one of the first epic wraps, wherever that is, Magma. Just a lot of these wraps, but I don't know, I do like the animation. I think it kind of like Magma, which they put into the shop the same day, so they kind of just like show like they're just like, here's a Magma but better. Yeah, so that was kind of a bad choice by them, I think. But then you got Chipset, definitely up there with my favorite wraps. Not like my favorite wrap, but definitely up there. Of course, you guys know I'm all into PCs and whatnot. So yeah, Chipset is just really, really cool. Not only what's about it and whatnot, but also just how it looks. And the colors I absolutely love. It is animated, and also when you shoot, the whole thing kind of pulses, lights up, and whatnot. And yeah, it's just really, really cool looking. Absolutely love that wrap. Yeah, and then you got Rainbow Fog right here, which at first I thought just looked a lot like the Loser Fruit wrap, but it kind of grew, but then it ended up looking a little different for some reason, and it grew on me. And yeah, that's actually a pretty darn cool wrap. You got it from like doing the house party thing this season or whatever. Yeah, so that is that. But then after that you got the 3 wraps from the Dark Fire bundle, which is the 3 Angular Shift wraps. So you got the Dark Angular Shift right here. They're pretty much all the same, just with different colors, but all pretty cool looking, I think. And then Molten Angular Shift, and then Shadow Angular Shift, right there. So all pretty cool wraps, but just kind of there. But yeah, moving on to the next page here is emotes. So I'm not going to play a lot of these because they're just obsessed with putting copyrighted TikTok emotes in the game now, apparently. Yeah, so you got Say So, of course, with this. Roll with the changes. That's about it for that. Then you got Rolly, Dab a Branch not included. Then you got Last Forever, which is finally another synced emote. They have not been doing many of those lately. But then you got Daywalker's Kata, Bloodsuckers Beware. So yeah, pretty cool, quick, but yeah. And also the other one, of course, you guys know I like hate that type of music and the emotes and whatnot. I just buy them just to do with everyone else, because pretty much everyone else has them, and I just buy them for the memes and whatnot. Yeah, so yeah. But that is that. So then you got Take the Cake right here, the little birthday emote for this year. It says enjoy the big blowout. So yeah, and then you got Crazy Boy. Finally decided to get this emote. It came out a couple seasons ago, but yeah, just decided to finally get it. It says never forget your pure heart and fight on. Can't remember who it's from. It's like some Spanish streamer or something, I believe. But then you got Bobbin. Finally just decided to get this for like the movie reference. Can't remember exactly, but yeah, let's just really get into it. And yeah, you just bob in your head, you know. And then Which Way, I think a really good traversal emote. It says the only way to fly, and he doesn't want to do it. There we go. But yeah, it's traversal, and you just fly on a broom with a slight green contrail and a little pumpkin light from the jack-o'-lantern, and you got some spooky music, and yeah, just really cool little emote there. But yeah, and then you got Work It Out, which has been out forever, but I finally just now got it right there, mainly just because of with virtual aerobics from one of my favorite bands, Wallows. I just decided, like, hey, I can refer back to that, and yeah, now I like it a little bit more. That's literally the only reason I decided to get that finally. And then Blinding Lights, they did make an emote for this. It says it's all in the footwork. But yeah, I actually do like that song. But yeah, and then Pickin' It, which you saw a little bit ago, but it says and grinning. But yeah, really good emote here. You actually has some props. It's got a big old chair and a banjo, and yeah, you just play some tunes. And then you got The Flow. Pretty funny little emote here. It says Crow Fo Flow, let's go. Don't think this one's copyrighted, so. But yeah, I can't remember his name, but that is from somebody. I can't remember his name though. It was like Adam something or something. I can't remember. But yeah, and then you got Zombie Shambles. We do have another traversal emote, which is like a zombie walk, but I think this one, it's not necessarily better or anything. It's just this one's uncommon, the other one's rare, and I figured like if there's an uncommon traversal emote, you might as well get it. But yeah, so I finally got that. It says good luck finding those brains. Yeah. But then you got Power Punch. It says power up. And that's pretty much it. It's Lachlan's emote. Of course, we are getting a lot of those emotes. I already talked about it a couple of seasons ago, or whenever it was last time we got one of them, but I don't know if I'll be able to even find all of them. But we're getting a lot of those emotes at this point. I can't remember what the other one was, but then we have like the ground pound and whatnot. There's a few of them. You probably know what I'm talking about. But then we got Tiny's Violin right here. It says extend your tiny sympathies. But yeah, pretty good uncommon emote, and that just goes on. And then the emote that comes with the Dark Fire bundle, the Unification one. It says balance the forces. But yeah, and then we got the I just saw this emote that I didn't write down, so luckily I saw that. But yeah, we also got Toasty right here, which is pretty cool. It's uncommon, and it's got 2 props. But yeah, there's also 2 outcomes. You can do that, or you can cook them successfully. And I don't know if I'll get it to work here. I think it did, yeah. But it's just so weird. You like hold them in your mouth, and then you kind of just let go, and they kind of just like float down and fall off your stomach. But yeah, it looks really funny with skins where you can actually see their mouth and whatnot. But yeah, so that's a emote. Let's just keep it mellow if I didn't already say that. But then emoticons, you can just go through real quick. We got Asgardian, which is Source Face right there. Gamma Flex right there. Grootling. Storm Warning. Doom Juice. With the Doom Chalice and whatnot. And then Mystique Sneak. Tony Approved. They all kind of have this cartoony style, but yeah. And then we got Weapon X. Big Bomb. Rainbow Fly. And if you're wondering where these random emoticons are from, it's because the Boundless, like when the superhero stuff came out, of course they're emoticons, so I guess they thought people needed more emoticons if they didn't have any to use with their superhero skin, I guess, or whatever. So they just gave everybody even more emoticons. So yes, they gave you like 6 or whatever, but and then of course each superhero came with their own emoticon and whatnot. There's a lot of emoticons coming out at that time. But yeah, and then you got Taco. Fish Funk. Cyclo Swirl, which is the one that came with the skin that I got, I believe. Cyclo Swirl. Oh yeah, no, this one. Yeah, that's not the one that came with my skin. But then Snail. And then Brella Fire, like the no sweat insurance thing. And then Red Cyclo. And then Blue Cyclo, which this is the one I believe that came with my skin. And then Cupcake, which came with like the back bling and whatnot. That's why the back bling's little icon in the locker is that. And then Cupcake again, but with this time with an exclamation mark. But yeah, it's just the 3 because you got the 2 and now you got the 3. But yeah, and of course the first one for sure didn't have the emoticon or whatever. But yeah, and then you got the Rocket League one, which is just like the Rocket League logo. And then Bobo's watching from the Fortnite challenges right there. Which I just noticed, one of the back blings we did not show, as well as I believe Harvesting Tool. There was a back bling that you unlocked from the challenges right here. It says Bobo, watch the monkeys, like a creepy monkey dude with the symbols. It says it's reactive, so I thought it was like clap the symbols when you get an elimination. But I haven't noticed it doing any of that, so I'm not sure if it's broken or what. But it doesn't really do anything. But it's still a cool back bling, and when you jump, his arms kind of flap around. And also Harvesting Tools. Hopefully I didn't forget anything else, but I forgot these, but luckily I noticed these. But if I did forget anything else, you might notice or whatever, but you can just see on my locker. But yeah, somewhere around here. Oh yeah, here we go. Smash the Lantern, pulp powered, sounds like this. So yes, that's that. Again, another Sledgehammer back bling. I think we're getting a bit of those. But yeah, so then on to sprays here. So first off, you got Wars Horizon. Maybe. Oh, no, that's music. So first off, you got Mjolnir Strike. Pretty cool. You can make it look like Mjolnir's got thrown into a wall. She-Hulk Smash. Groot Glow. Rocket Blaster. Punkaroro. True Mystique. Repulsor Blast. Whoops. Berserker Barrage. The Big 3. And then Rocket League, which is again just like their I thought it was just like their logo. I haven't paid attention much to sprays. But yeah, so it's just like the car crashing into the little soccer ball, or the big soccer ball, I guess. So next up is music. Once again, I always just say to like, if you haven't heard these or whatever for some reason, then you can go listen to them on many places on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, so of course, because that would take up a lot of time to just sit there and listen to these. Yeah, but first off, you got Wars Horizon. right here. And then Might Menace. And what all of them like sound like. It says press play and prepare for battle. And then Might is press play and fight for justice. And then you got Menace, which is press play and take over the world. And those are the 3 from the battle pass. Of course, they're all Marvel themed and whatnot. But they are really good, like cinematic kind of sounding music. The only thing is they kind of like all sound similar, like kind of just like one big song or whatever. So it's like you can't really like tell much of a difference between them or anything. But yeah, and then you got OG, another remix for the OG. There's now 3, I believe. But yeah, it's like the one that you could hear like playing like from like the Black Hole Van and whatever else. But yeah, I think it's pretty good, and we have all 3 of the OG songs now. But yeah, and then Battle Breakers finally released it. It's press play and break it down, and it's kind of like the Battle Breakers theme song, but it's like a slight remix of it. But it's got like the main poster for it, which is pretty darn cool. Yeah, everybody's been waiting for that absolute fire track. But yeah, and then you got Breathing Underwater, which I'm not sure if it's copyrighted or not. But yeah, it says don't pause, press play. But definitely different for a music pack. It's like an actual song or something. But yeah, and then you got Fortnite 2020, which is really cool. It says press play and get ready to stream it, and it's actually a remix of the Fright Funk emote, which is awesome. And then you got Boss Battle, which once I saw the cover for it and whatnot, I thought it was gonna be like the music for the event on Tuesday. But I was just like, why is that already coming out? The event hasn't even happened yet. But it's actually a leaked music pack that everybody was hyped for. It's from like a YouTuber, I believe. I can't really remember his name. But yeah, he like remixed the henchman from Chapter 2, Season 2, or whatever, to make a song with it. And yeah, the full song is now a music pack, and that's why it's called Boss Battle, because it's like all the henchmen bosses. But yeah, it's created by Name Music, and I believe we were listening to it through most of this video, but it's just pretty darn funny and pretty fire. But yeah. So last up, we've got the loading screens. So first off, we got Harold's Hammer. This is created by Michael Cho. Cosmic Wave, created by Sebastian Van Bushwald. Carrying the Team, created by James Herring. Out on a Limb, created by George Corona. Probably my favorite loading screen from this season. I can't remember exactly, but I believe this is. But yeah, just really beautiful and whatnot. And I mean, Groot in pretty much Fortnite's version of Groot, with Bushranger right there. Yeah, but then Stormflight, created by Rich Kelly. Doom Unleashed, created by Tradmore. Identity Crisis, created by Afu-chan. You can see she's actually like turning into a Bright Bomber right there, which is pretty darn cool. And then The Man in the Suit, created by Delicious Design League. They've been creating a lot of loading screens for Fortnite, of course, over the past couple of seasons. And then Adamantium Slash, created by Jianglan or whatever. And then Corrupted Legends. I was really hoping, they tweeted this out when like they first released the bundle, and I was really hoping this would end up becoming a loading screen, and it did. It says there's no turning back, and it's just so cool. Happy that they turned that into a loading screen. And then you got the Daywalker. It says his name is Blade. And I believe you only got this loading screen if you own Blade. For some reason they didn't do one for Venom or whatever, Ghost Rider, or at least not yet, which kind of sucks because the loading screen that they tweeted out for Ghost Rider and Venom are really, really cool. So I really hope we do get those as loading screens at some point, but I'm not sure. But then Midas' Revenge, which is also a very cool loading screen right there. Yeah, it says Revenge from the Shadows. But that is pretty much it for this season. So of course, I don't think I'll be getting anything else this season, but they did say there's gonna be like a free reward for the event or whatever, or maybe if they release any cosmetics like a Galactus skin or whatever else, I'll either show that in next season's end of results video, or you'll just see that in the event video. So make sure to tune into that. It's going to be a very epic video. I made an intro for it, as I usually do, like a cinematic intro, but yeah, I really like this one. It's very cinematic and I think pretty darn well done. And yeah, just really entertaining and whatnot. So definitely check that out. But yeah, that'll... or if you haven't yet, because by the time I post this, that video will already be out. So if you haven't checked out that video, hopefully this kind of plan that I tested out this time made this video a little shorter. Probably not insanely shorter, but yeah, we're getting there. We're making it shorter and shorter. But for a Marvel themed season, I think we probably did pretty good. And of course, there's also banner icons, which there, we can show those real quick. There's Mjolnir. I don't know if I'm skipping any, like a little She-Hulk Fist, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, a little Storm Cloud, Doctor Doom's mask, Mystique's eyes and little forehead skull charm thingy, Iron Man's mask, and I believe that's it. Or, yeah, and then Wolverine's little hand claws. So that's all the emoticons. I don't think there's any other ones. If there were, I can't really remember. But also, they still have this stupid glitch where everything's all mixed up. You can see this one, the tabs are all messed up because you can see it says Battle Royale, but these are my Save the World ones. And they're also mixed in with like these standard Fortnite ones. Then you go over to Founder, and there's all my Battle Royale ones, but they're also like not in the order they used to be. They're all just like mixed around just randomly. So I used to be able to kind of tell which ones were where, but now they're just everywhere. And then Special is just like non-existent. It's just kind of there. Yeah, and as you can see, the Founder ones are also in this one. Like, they just put... I don't even know what's going on there. Hopefully they fix that. But, yeah. So that is pretty much it for this video. Again, if you're wondering what about like Save the World and stuff, of course, I always just say to check out my Save the World Instagram page. Link is in that. Posting there all the time, and there's pretty much constant updates on there, so we don't really need to do a end of season results video on there. Just Battle Royale and whatnot, because I do have a photography page, but I don't post end of season results or whatever else on there. So yeah, so definitely check out those links in the description and whatnot. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. So until the next video, I'll see you all later. Bye! Alright guys, quick little update. A video will be coming soon, but we actually played, me and my little brother played with my dad. Dad was on the Xbox, and then Bridget was on his PC, and I was on my PC. But yeah, that was really fun, and I will actually be making a little video, which is I think gonna be a pretty darn good video. So watch out for whenever that comes out. Hopefully pretty darn soon. Just gotta get these two videos out of the way first. But yeah, so while we're doing it, I unlocked just a couple more things, but now I believe this is how the season's gonna end for me. So yeah, so I got account level 1545. I did get up to 226, but I did actually end up unlocking another style for Mystique. So yeah, I did unlock the tactical style right there, as well as for her harvesting tools, or harvesting tool dualies, or single. I did actually unlock her morphic style right there, which is actually a pretty darn nice style. But yeah. But then the other thing is in the shop, Benji Fishy's bundle came in, which I don't really care about. I already had the Siren skin, but I've been wanting this glider for a long time. I just didn't really want to drop the 800 V-Bucks on it. But this whole bundle, since I already had the skin for the harvesting tool, the wrap, and the glider, is 900 V-Bucks. So I figured if I want the glider, now is probably the time to do it. So I just got that. So I just have this Star Wand harvesting tool now. It says Swing for the Stars, sounds like this. The Lotus Star wrap right here. And the Coral Cruiser glider I finally have. It says Ride the Reef. And it sounds like that, and it plays the vibe music that we all know and love. So yeah, but then also in the store, the epic Herald's Warning music pack, press play and get ready to save the world, came in, which, as you can hear it going on right now, it's very epic, and I believe this might be the music pack that plays during the event. But yeah, it's actually really epic. I've really been enjoying it tonight, and yeah, but really hyped for the event, and yeah, we might end up watching that with Dad if we get him on right there. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty awesome, so we'll probably do that. But yeah, we'll just have to see for that video. But yeah, just got the music pack, and I believe that is everything now. So now, that is it for this video. So make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye! Alright guys, real quick, one last thing. So yeah, so they're just, usually I don't do this, but usually they don't put this many new things in the shop up until like the last day. Usually the last new thing in the shop will be like 3 days before the end of the season. But yeah, tomorrow is the event for me, and they added more new stuff, so now this will be the end. So, I don't really want any of this stuff. It is all pretty cool, unique, another concept by Shark Tooth. But this back bling, I really like the coffee kind of cup back bling that comes with the coffee girl skin, I can't remember her name. But I didn't want to get the whole skin for the back bling. But this one is really good. It's the cheapest thing from the set. Back bling called Shakes to Go, Get Shook with a Friend. And yeah, as you can see, it can be two little... and also, I don't like coffee, but I do like most shakes. So yeah. Yeah, this is, it's got a little receipt and whatnot, and I just really love the cups and the drink holder, and it can be just one single cup, so with a little heart bendy straw. So yeah, so I actually really like this back bling, so I'm a cop it. So yeah, so there we go. Now, that is the last thing for this season. So yeah, did get that back bling, and yeah, finally, that is the end of this video, I believe. So, yeah, because this was the official last shop of the season. So yeah, so got that. Already got my, this is the fit I'm going to be running for the event tomorrow. As you would have already seen in the video, as you can see, it's in 13 hours, so I'm going to get to bed, and I'll see you on that video, which you already would have seen, but yeah. So make sure to like, subscribe, I'll see you later.